From the Fox 5 studios, this is the RebZone Sports Show.
Sponsored by Hennessy Haight, Help is Here, and by Flowing Tide Pub.
You know, we said at the very beginning, finish. We said this last, actually, January. We got to go finish. We know what it takes. We got to go do it, though. We got to put it into action. We got to see it every morning, and we're going to go do it.
If we'll go control the things we can control, continue to improve in all three areas, we need to go play really well. We've got 14 days to go make the most of it. And then whatever happens, happens from there. Let the chips fall. But if we don't do our part, then it doesn't matter. So I think we've got a very, very mature team. We understand the mission, and we understand what we have to do to get ourselves in position to play winning ball.
Welcome into the RebZone from Allegiant Stadium. Another big win for UNLV football, coming out on top against the Aztecs, 41-20, improving to 8-2 overall. Coach, we talked about how gritty, how tough this week was coming back from Hawaii. What championship habits are you seeing from your guys right now?
Well, I think they understand that every single day how important it is to prepare the right way to your every single habit that we have is going to show up on game day, whether it's pre-practice stretching, recovery afterwards, extra film study, you know, the meaningful games in November, how important that is to our program. Our guys have really embraced that. They understand that everything will be magnified down the stretch, and really we've got a mature team, and I'm thankful for the way that they've approached it, and to get win number 8 now with another big time game coming up next week. I'm really excited for our guys.
The Rebels are rocking the red, white, and blue lids in honor of Military Appreciation Night. Mr. Special Teams himself, Ricky White, is the hottest ticket to see in Las Vegas. The Go-Go offense is off to a fast start, rolling up 253 rushing yards. The Desert Pines graduate Greg Burrell ran hard last night, rolling in for his second score of the season. Number 5 is only a freshman. UNLV up 14-0. Later in the second, the Rebels are flexing the depth in their running back room. Jet Thomas rolls in for his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Rebels extend their lead 21-0. Next drive, the Aztecs' true freshman quarterback, Danny O'Neal, ain't going nowhere, because here comes one of the top safeties in the country, Jalen Catalon, with his 2nd sack of the season. Big dude, big play. Next, Aztecs possession, and SDSU responds. O'Neal fakes the handoff, throws right, and SDSU jumps on the board, trailing the Rebels 21-6. Later in the second, O'Neal is looking for a guy downfield. Who does he got open? Well, he's got Jalen Catalon wide open. Kid is a playmaker. Catalon comes up with his 5th pick of the season. The Rebels' turnover would result in a UNLV touchdown. Next drive, here comes Malik Williams rolling in for his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. And you know his mama Beverly is one happy lady, never misses a game, travels from Atlanta to Las Vegas to witness her son make history. The Rebels roll into the locker room up big at halftime, 28-6 over SDSU. UNLV's offense keeps on rolling in the second half. Malik Williams rolls right, rolls left, showing off his legs. Look at him go. The 6th-year senior has now rushed for 646 yards this season and racked up 8 rushing touchdowns so far this year. The dual threat quarterback puts the Rebels ahead 35-6 over SDSU. The Aztecs respond on the next drive. O'Neal over the middle to Deshaun Polk, and the Aztecs are fighting back, down 35-13, not giving up in this game. Next drive, UNLV's got the best kicker in the nation. Caden Chittenden is tied for 1st in the country in made field goals, this one from 46 yards out. Like I mentioned, the freshman is the best in the country. Rebels roll on 38-13 over SDSU. 10 p.m. at Allegiant Stadium, things get dicey on the field. It's 4th and 1 at the 1, and the Rebels defense say SDSU is short. The refs call it a touchdown, and SDSU trails the Rebs 38-20. UNLV adds 3 more on the board on the next drive, and the Rebels take a 21-point lead with 9:30 to play in this ball game. Coach Odom brings out his twos, and Cameron Friel is at the 1-yard line looking to score, but the ball pops out at the 1-yard line, and the Aztecs recover the fumble, taking the ball 72 yards the other direction. Huge momentum swing for the Aztecs, looking to score down the stretch of this ball game. SDSU goes for it on 4th and 1. O'Neal takes a deep shot to the end zone. No dice. That's ball game. SDSU turns it over on downs, and the Rebels say night-night to the Aztecs, hanging on to their lead 41-20, improving to 8-2 overall, 4-1 in conference play.
No different than what it's been since day one. You know, I feel like my teammates have a lot of confidence in me, whether coach and everyone else. So the least I can do is go out and perform my best. And when the opportunity presents itself for me to take the ball myself, I got to make sure I execute.
2 conference games remaining against San Jose State and UNR. You guys are rolling right now. What is working for you guys in terms of recovery, habits, practice-wise right now in your building?
Yeah, our guys just understand what the process needs to look like. And, you know, not only they see what it needs to be, but then they're willing to go do it and do it every single day, because we know the consistency's got to be there.
Short week for you guys heading out to San Jose State on Friday night. They lost a close ball game to Boise State, but offensively, Coach, they have a lot of weapons. From what you've seen from the Spartans this year, what impresses you?
Yeah, I think their quarterback is one of the best guys in the country. Obviously, they've got an elite receiver and core at that group. I watched a couple of games early on and attacking on defense, and you know, I know their new coaching staff is one of the top coaches in the country. So we'll have our work cut out for us. We'll need to have a great week of preparation and then go on the road and play really good ball.
All right, the RebZone is just getting started. Coming up next, we're talking to the best special teams player in the nation, UNLV's All-American wide receiver Ricky White, and how Coach Odom truly thinks he can play on offense, special teams, and defense. Our one-on-one with Ricky White is coming up. Plus, Jackson Woodard, Jalen Catalon, Jonathan Baldwin. The list goes on how many studs Coach Scheer has on his defense this season. The secondary once again played lights out against San Diego State. We'll hear more from number 7 next, and how the Rebels want to finish the season as Mountain West champions. The RebZone returns after the break.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Sponsored by Hennessy Haight. Help is here. And by Flowing Tide Pub.
Yeah, they're playing really high-level ball. They practice that way. I think that was the biggest thing this week in practice. Their communication was at an all-time high. They all do different things so well. They play together. They play fast. I mean, they're a fast group, you know, just flying down, making hits, and then also playing really well in coverage. Really proud of our defensive backs.
Your defense held San Diego State to 6 points at the half. Your secondary really playing lights out right now. Jonathan Baldwin, Jalen Catalon, so many guys making explosive plays. What are you seeing from that group?
I think a little more confidence in our schematic calls, and then just the experience now is starting to take over because they understand they're playing together. We're rotating still some guys in there at certain positions at the corner spot, but everybody understands when they get on the field how important it is to be on the same page, and they're able to play fast right now, and when you can do that, especially in the defensive secondary, it makes you a fast, solid team on the back end.
Speaking of leadership, number 11, you can really put him anywhere on the football field. Offense, special teams, he is such a playmaker. What are you seeing week in and week out from Ricky White?
Yeah, he continues to step up and makes plays, on the punt return unit. He's huge in our kickoff return game on the front line, in his position there. Made clutch plays through the air tonight, and he's an All-American in every sense of the word, and his practice habits are something that I will point to the rest of my career in coaching on how he brings it every single day.
Caden Chittenden continues to deliver. He's automatic, tied for first in the country in field goals. What impresses you about the freshman late in the season?
Yeah, I think he continues to have confidence in all the kicks, and he's done a great job now in our kickoff game with touchbacks. We know once we get inside a certain yard area that we're probably going to come away with 3 points, and that's a great feeling. We can count on him. He's stoic in his approach, and he's really mature for a freshman.
Ricky White leads the nation in blocked punts this season with 4, but he's also making a huge impact in our community. From volunteering to hosting free youth football camps to becoming a captain at UNLV. We take a look back at the senior's successful career in Las Vegas and how he's bringing the younger football players up with him. The RebZone returns after the break.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Sponsored by Hennessy Haight. Help is here. And by Flowing Tide Pub.
Number 11 is a special player, one that is going down in history books at UNLV. Whether he's playing on offense or special teams, Ricky White is guaranteed to make a play. Coach Odom says he's even seriously considered putting Ricky White in at corner. He's that good. The senior's work ethic and practice habits have led him to become one of the most dynamic players in all of college football. We sat down one-on-one with Ricky White III.
Williams over the middle, caught there. Ricky White III, an answer from the Rebels, 37 yards.
The biggest word right now is around the facility is finishing. You know, around this time last year, I feel like, you know, we didn't finish right. We didn't finish the way we wanted to. So right now we just, you know, focus on the little things, the habits, continue to, you know, take care of our small things, the things that will help us win games. So right now we're just focusing on finishing.
The senior is coming off a record-breaking season after finishing the year with 1,483 receiving yards, the most by any Rebel in school history. Not only is he a star wide receiver, but now a star on special teams, leading the nation in blocked punts with 4 this season.
Lawrence, it's blocked. UNLV blocks the punt. Scooped up by Ricky White. He scores. Touchdown, UNLV.
My teammates, they do a great job of, you know, doing their job also, which frees me up. Also, I want to do Coach G is a great special teams coach. You know, he does a great job scheming up each and every week. You know, watching film, you know, on the opponent team. And, you know, like I just said, everybody does their 111. So I want to say a big thank you to Coach Sheaves and my players on the special teams unit. We all do our job, which, you know, allows each and every one of us to make a play on the team.
White continues to move up the UNLV record books. He's second in 100-yard games with 13, tied for third in touchdowns with 22, and third in career receiving yards with 2,901. And it's all thanks to Coach Odom.
Oh, man, Coach Odom is a great coach, and I respect him and just allowed me to just be the person I am, not for only the receiver core, but also the whole team. He's challenged me to be more vocal, and that's what I've been doing this whole season, just trying to show the guys the right way to, you know, go about things, whether it's, you know, like I said, eating the correct way, stretching, academic-wise, taking care of your body. So that's the biggest thing around here, just finishing. And Coach Odom has emphasized that, and, you know, we're taking the right approach each and every week.
There's still so much history to be written this season. The job's not done for Ricky White, but every day when he walks in the building, he can see the huge impact he's already made at UNLV.
It's a blessing. When I first seen it, I was very joyful. I sent a picture to my mom and my dad, and they was very excited to see it also. So it's definitely a blessing. I want to thank my coaches, God, of course, you know, just allowing me to just be this person I am today. So.
How about Ricky White on the facility at UNLV? So special to see. Really special young man who tells me his dad has been his biggest supporter through his career, never missing a game. Ricky White will be honored on senior night, Saturday, November 30th, when UNLV wraps up conference play, hosting the team up north at 5 p.m., looking to keep the Fremont Cannon red. The month of November is a busy one here in Las Vegas, and sophomore guard Macy Spencer put on a show at the Cox Pavilion. The young Lady Rebel came off the bench and scored a career-high 20 against Stonehill. We'll take a look at the Lady Rebels' 26-point win on Friday night. Plus, The Runnin' Rebels' Bear Cherry continues his dominance in non-conference play. We'll take a look at how the Rebels found their groove in the second half and avoided an upset over Omaha. We got more UNLV hoops on the RebZone, now called the Bear Cherry RebZone, after the break.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Sponsored by Hennessy Haight. Help is here. And by Flowing Tide Pub.
Welcome back to the RebZone. The Runnin' Rebels are 2-1 in conference play with several transfers on the team this year. This new UNLV squad is continuing to gel and find their groove at the start of the season with 2 non-conference games on tap this week against Pepperdine and New Mexico State. Kevin Kruger wants to see consistency in practice and live action this week. Let's head out to the Thomas and Mack. UNLV looking to jump back in the win column after losing to Memphis 80-74, and the Rebels' 6'11" forward has quickly become a star this season, bringing his physicality. The Rebels keep rolling against Omaha. Quick inbound to Jalen Bedford on the wing. Easy 3 for Bedford. The Rebels scored 18 points off turnovers on Thursday night. Make way for Bear Cherry. He's coming in scratching and clawing. Cherry scored 17 against Omaha, but the Mavericks kept this game close. Omaha kept fighting back in this ball game. Here comes Julian Rishwan bringing a spark off the bench for UNLV, and the Rebels defense continues to fuel the offense as Jalen Hill comes away with the steal on the fast break. Omaha responds, keeps it a 2-possession game until DJ Thomas drops the corner 3 to give UNLV its first lead of the game. From there, the Runnin' Rebels never looked back. Kevin Kruger's squad was able to lock in, knock down some big shots when they mattered the most, and hold off the Mavericks to secure the 80-69 win over Omaha, improving to 2-1 in non-conference play.
After 3 games here, there's, if I had a concern, or not a concern, but something that we're going to continue to address and get better at, is that we just got to be more consistent. We just got to have longer stretches of more consistent play. But it's not a lack of effort. It's not a lack of time and investment that the guys are putting in. It's just one of those things. We're in the middle of November, and with as much movement in the portal and recruiting and teams and familiarity, it's you kind of never really know what you're getting into as a player at this age. And Omaha's going to win a lot of games. Crutch does an unbelievable job. They play really hard. They share it well, and we were fortunate to come out with a win tonight. But also, it challenged us, which was great. Every time we can get real game situations where we have to, feel the importance of each possession on both sides of the floor, it just makes us better in the long run.
And the Lady Rebels are emphasizing the same thing, consistency in non-conference play. After falling on the road at Arizona 93-57 on Tuesday night, the Lady Rebels jumped back in the win column with a 36-point win over Stonehill, a Division I team out of Easton, Massachusetts. The Lady Rebels were led by sophomore guard Macy Spencer, who came off the bench and knocked down 4 threes, scoring a career-high 20 against Stonehill. Big team win for the Lady Rebels, improving to 3-1 in non-conference play, and are gearing up for a big week at the Cox Pavilion. We got 2 Lady Rebels home games and 2 Runnin' Rebels home games on tap this week at UNLV. Like I mentioned, November is a very busy month here in Las Vegas. Plus, Fox 5 is packing our bags with UNLV football, heading out to San Jose State for a 7 p.m. kickoff this Friday night in San Jose, a showdown against the Spartans. UNLV on a roll, looking to finish the month of November 10-2 and jump back in that Mountain West Championship game. Of course, Barry Odom and his guys are so focused on winning a Mountain West Championship. Fox 5 has you covered all week long on everything UNLV. Well, we do want to end the RebZone tonight paying tribute to the UNLV legend John Robinson, who passed away on Monday at the age of 89. The legendary football coach also served as UNLV's Director of Athletics from 2002 to 2003. He coached the Rebels from 1999 to 2004, earning Mountain West Coach of the Year honors in 2000. The Rebels honored the Hall of Fame coach last night with a moment of silence pregame, and were wearing his initials, JR, on their helmets. Here's a tribute to John Robinson.